Okay, so framing going on. This is day 4. Got rained out yesterday. Garage is up, ready for plywood on the roof. I did 16 foot and an 8 foot. The garage is 20 feet wide, but I bought a 16 and an 8, had them splice them. I've done that before. Why? Because it's cheaper. If you go over 16 feet on 2x12, if you go like 20, if you buy 20 footers, they're like 3 times the price, or they're way higher. So it's cheaper to actually do this. It's good enough. Anyway, it's just really to hold the two walls together. Maybe a little storage if they want to throw some stuff up there, but because I don't drywall the ceilings, I only drywall the walls on these cheap garages. So anyway, yeah, so it's a little trick to save a little money. I don't know why they did this. Me, I cut that off before I put them up. Now they got to use a Sawzall. Everybody does things a little differently. I always think about efficiency when I frame. I just want the most efficient, fastest way to do it. Don't have to go back on stuff. You know, that's how my mind works. But anyway, I did talk them into building at least the 2 walls on the floor, and then standing them up. You know, put the plywood on and everything, and the building paper. So that at least they did that, because they don't usually do that. They usually put the walls up and then they hang the plywood on the outside. And you know, to me, it's more work. But so they did do on these 2, but they're afraid to do the 2 end rake walls. They don't know how to do them. So me, I build an entire rake wall, and then I stand it up. But they don't feel comfortable doing that. They want to like do it, you know, fill them in after the roof rafters are on. So they're getting ready to do the roof rafters. They got all their temporary scaffolding. They're going to put that's to support the end of the ridge. They're going to put the ridge and then start putting rafters up. They're cutting them all now. So see here, this back wall. See, I had that whole thing. I had the peak, everything, plywood on, everything stood the whole this whole wall all the way across. But I don't know. Everybody's got their own way of doing stuff. It's their time, so I don't care as long as it gets done in the end. The good news is I'm not doing it, and believe me, in this heat I'd be dying. So the last couple I did myself, I did in the winter. So you know, I had daytime highs in the 60s and 70s, not 100, 95, 100, 105. Anyway, yeah, same with these walls too. They just build them up. I put the roof on and I cut them off with a Sawzall. Me, I frame them. I frame the angle because it's an 8-foot wall, and then but I got 9-foot ceilings. I frame the angle. I don't want to come back and be cutting stuff off with a Sawzall. Waste of time to me. But they don't feel comfortable doing that, so it's their prerogative, as they say. Majin, you working hard? Yeah. You're on YouTube. That's Majin the framer, and that's his buddy over there helping. And then he's got one other guy, but he's not here today because he doesn't need 3 guys here today. Anyway, yeah, I think this is day 4 or day 5, but they had some weather issues, so that's not bad. I mean, it's a lot farther than I'd be framing by myself. The old Gringo framing by himself. Yeah. Anyway, that's how it's going so far. So next update maybe after they get the roof on. All right, I gotta go to work.